it's just a question of whether or not we think the actual duties that are imposed on social media companies are or are not fair.
One of the ones I saw that's big is I think it was the duty of care. What are, if you wouldn't mind explaining what that entails and if you think there's a more important duty than the duty of care?
So duty of care is a kind of legal, very, very general legal term that isn't necessarily how can I put it? It's not particularly useful in this context because it's duty of care just means I have a duty of care towards anybody who comes into my home, for example. It's not necessarily giving me much information about what that duty entails. So the Online Safety Act has effectively said you have a duty of care towards your users, but it's how that duty of care is actually identified in the Act that makes a difference, rather than necessarily
What it is?
imposing a duty. Yeah. So duty of care is very, very general as a term. So it's just a question of whether or not we think the actual duties that are imposed on social media companies are or are not fair. And I personally feel that they are fair. I don't think it's asking them very much, actually. And I think they are very rich. They have a huge amount of power. And whilst it's going to cost them money to enforce these duties, I don't have a problem with that.